All right. Shalom.
God, Shalom.
All right, this is Zaraiyah Ithanyaahla.
Ithanyaahla, the Lionz camp.
I want to start off by saying call,
Lionz,
La,
La,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amah. A double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule and teach well. A double honor for our elder as well, Harwan Bayasharala here in Lionz camp, Jacksonville, Florida. Sincere Thawada to the Akim and Thwakim who are pushing the truth and believing with sincerity. Thawada. We are going to go into this lesson about. We're going to play a video as well once we get once we read a few scriptures about how these churches are trying to mold themselves into better businesses. So we're going to go into that. We're going to bring out that first scripture.
This is Revelation 16 and verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. That dragon and the beast is speaking on is the NATO and the EU. All right, and those 3 unclean spirits would be the military, the religion, all right, and the central banking, being the money, all right, which let's continue on, verse 14.
And really quick before you continue, the main unclean spirit that we're going to be talking about is their religion.
Correct.
All right, because we already know, the military is falling. Their monetary, the banking system is falling, and their religion also is falling as well. So we're gonna play a clip after we get done with this scripture.
Verse 14, because the reason why we bringing this out, because like the brother said, man, it's all falling and it's all coming to pass. The Lord is judging, all right, those 3 unclean spirits, all right, and ultimately you got to think of when the church, this church started from, man, which was 325 A.D. in the Roman Empire, all right, through the Council of Nicaea, all right, where they created religion, mainly Catholicism, where you have the structure of this business, Verse 14 in Revelation 16 and 14, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai Almighty. So man, they all they've been cast out through the 4 corners of the earth, through the whole world, man. This wine, this philosophy, this deceit, this hypocrisy, when it comes to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of our Lord. And the Lord has pretty much had had it, all right, because the true prophets is out here, and according to Matthew 24:14, what the gospel and truth shall be preached through the earth, and then the end shall come, and now we're at the end, so the brothers go play the snippet of this little video, and we'll get into it.
Hopefully they'll be able to see it.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us live here in person and online.
Today, he leads Mosaic Church, a Christian community of some 500 congregants.
Hey, you enjoying church this morning? How was that?
Enjoyed it.
See y'all?
He did it in part by buying up a former Kmart and slowly converting it into a church.
Hey, it's Bertha. How are you?
But he wouldn't have made it if he hadn't also done something unique. Opened up a for-profit coffee shop in the lobby and taken on tenants next door. So far, a fitness center, with plans to add a grocery store next year. Now, DeBoz is trying to sell faith leaders on his economic vision, that to survive in today's world, all churches need to be structured more like businesses.
Traditionally, churches are run in a funding way through tithes and offerings. The people attend your church, they put money into the offering plate, it pays the bills, it pays the salary of the pastor, it pays the mortgage payment. There is a business model to the church. We don't like to talk about it, people don't want to necessarily think about it, but there is an economic reality to every church. The more that people joined our church, the homeless, the immigrant, the undocumented, the poor, it costs us money. And we realize if we're going to have effective ministry, we're going to have to develop multiple streams of income.
So if you want to open a church in a place like this, you have to find another way to make some money.
That's not just an urban reality anymore. With less people attending church, offerings going down. It doesn't matter now if you're in the suburbs. See, what we learned in the inner city 20 years ago is now true across the country.
Right. So, and like you said, they and later on in the video, they showed a bar, like bars and graphs, about how church attendance has went down the past few years because people in this society now they've fallen out of that they're falling out of that sleep, so to say. So they start to wake up and realize that this place is not their rest. They start to realize the folly of America. All right, they started to wake up from the American dream. And with that, I wanted to get John chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables. And said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. And his disciples remembered that, it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. And the main point was in verse 16, when he said, make not my father's house a house of merchandise. All right. And as he said people don't want to talk about it, but that's what we have to do. You don't make not my father's house a house of merchandise. And the irony is the fact that he bought an old Kmart. All right, like knowing that you don't need all that.
Oh, yeah, big business.
Right, a big business. All right, and even more ironically, Kmart went out of business. So and he opened up a gym. He opened up a little cafe on the side of it. All right, that's and he says, it's so that way he can keep up the church. Is it really to keep up the church that we can continue to minister unto people and truly save souls, or is it to keep up the church and put money into your pocket?
Right, because the more lavish it looks, all right, the more people be drawn into it. All right, just like you got these churches we were just speaking on before the video here in Jacksonville, Florida. You got a church called the Potter's House, just like in your local city near you. All right, in Jake neighborhood, outside of Jake neighborhood, you got these big mega churches, man, who is all about money. Even in the sheepfold, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and get that Matthew real quick. That's why is the
even in the sheepfold, man, you got these fake Hebrew Israelite camps who carried that Christianized mindset, right? These Christian teachings and heresies into the truth, man. Like the IUICs, the ISUPKs, who run they program ultimately like a church, all right?
It's modeled clean cut right off of a church. They got the IUIC, they got their own record label, all right, and I just
those many businesses. And
then again, I don't say again, but of course there's nothing wrong with making music, and you want to make music to help your people, but their doctrine is off. So that means that their music is going to give off an uncertain sound. All right,
they're leading people astray, and they're causing a lot of blood upon their hands, man. Because again, broad is the way, all right, but there's only one way to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. But everybody want to go about their own way, their own form of righteousness.
Right,
you got it out.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So if one person who has a spirit of Yahweh Yahushua were to come up to a multitude of people, as we do, going out on the highways and byways, we say, hey, here is the narrow gate. Here's how you get to Yahweh Yahushua, the leader, or I say the leader, but the creator of the heavens and the earth. And they'll just look at you and be like, no, I'm good. But when a man of high stature in this society, right? He will, I got a gym,
a building.
I got a building. It used to be an old Kmart. I got a little cafe set up. If you want to, just like here in Potter's House and here in Jacksonville, they got a bowling alley and a little bistro, a little
shopping mall.
a whole mall. So they be like, okay, you know, I might just attend to this church. You know, I see everything that it got. They got to see what they got to see it to believe it.
Hey, just like Jake running to the IUICs, man. That's that's the biggest Hebrew Israelite congregation. All right, why? Because you see the order, you see the military fashion, you see that you can, if you have a business or if you're thinking of creating a business, you have patrons already from the jump, man, with your congregation. You know, you will feel like they're obligated to do business with you because you're a part of their congregation. That's the reason why you have some individuals join to begin with. You know, to make garments, not to make garments for the people so they can do the work and the will of the Lord, but to just get money.
And right here, I'm pulling up on the screen behind the camera. It's throw it up.
Got you.
It's is it on there?
Okay.
It's the Johnson Amendment, and it said the Johnson Amendment is an addition. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it.
Okay.
The Johnson Amendment is an addition adopted in 1954. The Internal Revenue Code 501c3 as condition for maintaining exemption from income taxes or other taxes. All right. And then going down up under, it says a little side note right here.
Okay.
The Johnson Amendment requires churches to refrain from participating in political campaigns if they want to keep their tax-exempt status.
Okay.
The amendment was introduced by Lyndon B. Johnson while he was a U.S. Senator. Churches, however...
Salakia, but what's that? That's extortion.
Churches, however, may safely engage in voter registration drives, educational activities, and even political forums that do not explicitly endorse one or another candidate. President Donald Trump has said he would like to eliminate the IRS rule, and some churches complain it restricts their religious expressions.
Because it do. Because that's why they say it's a gag.
So a lot of these churches. So a lot of these churches, all of these churches, if they have a building and they are a church and they got an address in the street, you know, they have a 501c3, all right, and they don't truly abide by the church, the word church in the scriptures, where two or more gathered in my name, there will I be. All right, you really do not have to have a building. You do not have to make a cafe. You don't have to make a bowling alley or a gym or nothing like that to try to bring in people or to try to keep your lights on, stuff like that. All right, as long as you focus,
Salaki. But that being said, I want to get a quick interjection. In Mark 14 and 58, because the brother said that it ain't no physical temple. They say, we heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. We're in that third day, you know, and that temple is being built, man. The spiritual tabernacle of King David, man, which Israel is a people before it's a place. So the church is wherever the elect is, man.
Everybody knows that the signal with cables. The signal without cables like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is a little bit of a weaker signal, but signals that can be sent without wires are sometimes a lot stronger. Maybe bring that Titus.
Kind of like the five.
I don't think
5H.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we can say it, but you know, with the new data network that cell phones have. So the Titus 1 and 10. Shut up.
It's the book of Titus. Small book. It's the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse. You want me to start it?
Chapter 1, verse 10.
Verse 10. And it's verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision.
Keep going.
Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not.
And that man, he I don't know if you were able to hear it in the video, but he said that he's teaching other pastors on how to run their churches like businesses, run their churches like businesses, because to him and because of other pastors who come unto him, the church is more about getting money. They focus on money. They don't focus on saving souls. If you're a man who picks up the book and says you want to teach the knowledge and wisdom of this book unto others, but you giving classes on how to structure your church like a business, you should be giving classes on how to teach children to follow the laws better, or to teach men and women on how to follow the laws better, teach them how to better conduct themselves in this wicked society. You know, keep going.
Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped. And ultimately it's talking about what? The circumcision, man. Those who in the fold, who follow in the like manner, like the brother's talking about, man. You know, like the IUICs, the ISUPKs. Because they follow that same template of everybody else who have the 501c3 charter. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake.
Keep going.
One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said the Cretians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies.
And we get it. Slow bellies is two of the words in that definition, or
we're gonna get it in Titus in the blue letter. When you look up that slow bellies, what it goes into in verse 12.
Well, the scriptures cut. The scriptures really, really cut. Slow bellies.
Strong's G 1064.
Gaster. So of course it's saying the belly, the womb, the stomach, a glutton, a gourmandizer, a man who is, as it were, all stomach. But then when you go down into the Strong's definition, it says of uncertain derivation. And
derivation is the shun version of the word derivative, which means like what was it saying? Copying the work of.
Yeah, like an imitate.
So
false prophet.
Right. So if you're familiar with comic books, Superman is the organic savior of people, and Bizarro Superman will be a derivative of. He's a matter of fact, Jewish people.
Okay.
So
ish, the light, the pertaining to it's the same definitions. Yeah, derivatives meaning like an imitator.
Right.
They're not really the true prophets. You know, so that's why there's nobody. Hey, everybody's running out of their churches, man, because you can't get understanding when it comes down to salvation or where humanity, so-called quote unquote, man is going.
Right.
In these times, man, people want answers and they can't get it.
So, and that the man that I showed in the video, when he saw that people, like less and less people were coming to church, rather than saying, all right, well, I'm going to teach. I'm just going to teach the people who are here because they're showing dedication that they still want to be here, even though a lot of people are leaving. Rather than doing that, he was like, I got to bring more people in. And so he start trying to bring them in with flatteriness, with the gym, with Potter's House here in Jacksonville, Florida. They got a whole bowling alley. They got tax services. They got daycares. They got a whole bunch of stuff to try to bring more people in. They got literally a whole shopping mall to try to bring people in. You know, so it's nothing but spiritual fornication.
We get a quick precept in Amos, 3:3, and it says, "Can two walk together except they be agreed?" And that's just a clear-cut scripture, man. And you got all type of people coming into a melting pot of a church, all because of the filthy lucre's sake, all because they just want to make money. It's a business to them. It ain't about salvation. It ain't about the word of Yahweh, by Yahweh Shah. You know, it's not about salvation. It's about reeling in as much people as we can to get money, and the ones who are close to the pulpit, hey, they reap the benefits. You know, a Ponzi scheme, man. Just like as Esau has set up this whole world to be a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme. You know,
because all church is just a hangout. That's all it is to people. When I was a child, and I used to go with my grandmother or my auntie or whoever I was around at the time, or around the weekend time, I went there. It's just a hangout spot. You know, you hear them talking, but it's it's just they just talking. They're not saying nothing that's really touching with people's soul, and the people's soul who it is touching, they hoop, hollering, and
it's a prosperity doctrine.
Right, they just make them feel good. They not really going about their daily lives, really trying to blessed is he that readeth, and those that give ear unto the doctrine. They're not truly trying to better themselves for the Most High, for others in this world. They're not really trying to shine light in this dark place. I'm gonna bring out this Luke. Oh, go ahead, finish this slide.
You got it, though. Go ahead. This verse 13. The witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth.
I'm just gonna read the whole rest of the scripture.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got Jake. We was talking about that too. You got Jake, who's the 11th hour Israelites, or a possible 11th hour Israelites who just hearing the word, or just coming trying to get themselves right in the word. Like I saw Jake yesterday with fringes on, but he has dreads, which is not lawful in the scriptures. But he has the dreads as a fade, but he's bald around the sides. Man. Another Jake I seen like that, you know. But he has on fringes, you know. So it's like, you know, you try to talk to Jake, and Jake got a whole guard up of pride, like he know it already, when he don't. Because he's taking heed to those Jewish fables, man, or the men who fell off, or the men who never really came into the truth, you know.
They're trying to. He and I were just talking about this. It's a lot of Instagram Israelites that they try to make up their own doctrine. They try to be like, oh,
like they the man,
right? You know, like it's not cool to have an elder. Like that's wicked. It's really wicked. You should have somebody that you call your elder, that you take heed to, and you really listen to his, and you really listen. Like it's a wise person attained unto wise counsel. Birds of a feather flock together. So if you not hang around nobody whom you call wise,
and I think that's in I think Simon, Peter. I want to say Salaki if I'm wrong, but. He was asked to read the scriptures and give an answer, and he said, "How could I read it unless a man instruct me, a man teach me, man?" You know, roughly paraphrase.
And that's what's the a foolish man is considered wise when he don't say anything. All right, so it would be better for these people to just shut the hell up
and really listen.
Really listen.
And try to, you know, do the mathematics. I call it mathematics through the spirit, and make things got to add up, man. When it comes to the spirit of the Lord, the words men teach, you know, and that from the apostles of Great Millstone and our elder of this camp, all right. Hey, you want to be sure, you know, you want to be 100% sure what the scriptures say, man. And everything is weighed in the balance, man. Everything, it lines up, man. There's no holes in the doctrine. There shouldn't be no holes in the doctrine.
You can continue with that.
This verse 15, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled.
I'm speaking about this one instance of the video that y'all were able to see. Him wanting to make a gym and to make a cafe so that where people can come onto and give their money onto, so he can keep his church afloat. He, in his mind, he think he's doing God's work.
Yeah,
he think, oh, you know, I'm bringing 200,000 people to church. Oh yeah, you know,
jobs.
Yeah, you know, making
like
jobs.
That is what God care about. And our elder tell us that all the time. Man, Lord don't care about how many old people you walk across the street. You know, he's not a respecter of persons, man. He don't care how much you give. You should be giving. His children shall seek to please the poor. He's an Edomite.
Now, if you walk that lady across the street and you tell her the name of the father's name is Yahweh and the son's name Yahushua, and you might see her later on down the line, and she's still keeping those names in her mind, or she teaching her grandchildren, then that is cool. That's where it's at. But if you helping her just to help her, be like, all right, God bless you, ma'am. No, that's just making yourself feel good.
Yeah.
That's just
be seen.
Yeah, to be seen by men. That's all that is. You read the rest of that.
Last verse 16. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny Him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Right.
Booster Club.
God.
That's all. Booster Club, man. Nate of IUIC.
God.
He got a goddamn Booster Club. Be a part of Booster Club.
God.
He got a TV program on Amazon Prime and podcasts and stuff like that.
God.
And it's all vain and abominable things. All vain and abomination. I'm gonna bring this Luke out. This is Luke chapter 16, verse 10. And this is the parable of the Slakia. I'm gonna read it what it says properly. The parable of the unjust steward. And this is Luke chapter 16, verse 10. It says, "He that is unfaithful in that which is least is faithful also in much." All right, and that's he that has a faith the size of a grain of mustard seed shall be able to move mountains.